Today we're going to be talking about pet peeves.
Ooh, child.
Yes.
This could be a long one for Darlene. She could go on by herself. Do you need me here? I mean, you could just go.
Welcome to Mama's Playground. This is Darlene.
And this is Monica.
And here we talk about parenting and all things life. We're so pinkish today. I love it.
I was just looking at that. I was like, wow, did you coincide with me? We had a subliminal, like I changed or I don't know.
And it's
We
like
both came
probably
pink.
the exact same pink. I
Oh,
love it.
yours
It's
is a little
summer.
lighter.
It's summer. We got to wear colors.
Yours is a little. I'm liking this message though. Her shirt says, "I'm not perfect, but I'm original."
Exactly. And I
Yeah.
think we need to remind ourselves that every day, because sometimes we want to do everything perfect, or if somebody criticizes something, like we take it so personal. It's like, no, everybody, we're original. We do things our way. What works
what
for
is
me.
perfect though?
Yeah.
Like, what is perfect? What is the definition of perfect?
I don't know. We got very philosophical.
Yes,
What
we
is
did.
perfect?
What is perfect?
Like
I mean,
having a needy house, perfect kids, like all
oh
well
my God.
behaved.
Get out of here. That doesn't
Like perfect.
exist.
No, yeah, that would be boring.
That doesn't
Perfect
exist.
is boring.
There was a movie on that, wasn't it? What with those ladies that would always, what was the, oh my God, the movie with the ladies that were always dressed really nice with the flowery dresses and the hats and the kids.
Desperate Housewives, Real
No,
Housewives of one.
they're
of
definitely
of
not
one of
perfect.
those. I know.
Those are definitely not perfect.
Do you watch the one? Have you watched any of those?
No, I had seen some episodes. I can't remember from which or like what it was, but no, I just didn't. It didn't gravitate towards me.
I know. It's like
Too
I
much
don't know.
drama.
And I guess and it's also, the editing and the producers and talk about what this person is wearing. And then,
Yeah.
But I did envy when they would go on these trips. Oh my God.
well,
Like
yeah.
this super exotic trips with the girlfriends. Like
Yeah.
that'll be fun. I did like Bethany Frankel.
Didn't she go to jail?
Oh, really?
She was
Well,
in jail
see,
for like
that
money
part I
laundering.
didn't
What?
know.
Oh, maybe don't. I thought it was her.
I don't
Bethany
know.
Frank. Maybe it's not her. Okay, excuse me if it's not her.
I just like that she was super real in the show, and then she's done great in her career.
I'm confusing her. So backtrack. I don't think that was her. Okay.
Yeah. Watch everybody like they were saying Bethany Frankel went to jail. No, she
Yeah.
didn't.
No. I don't think so. Now I'm gonna have to Google this later when we get out of here. But well, anyways.
Anyway, so okay, fun fact. Today we're gonna be talking about pet peeves.
Ooh, child.
Yes.
This could be a long one for Darlene. She could go on by herself. Do you
I
need
know.
me here? I mean, you could just go.
Let me just camera on me. Camera on me. All cameras on me. So first, we're gonna talk about why is it. Have you ever wondered? I mean, I don't think so. You're not like sitting in your car like, I wonder where this word came from. Pet peeves. Fun fact. So pet is used to describe something right now that is like loved or cherished. That's what we call our dogs, our pets.
Okay.
But in the 19th century, it was ironically paired with words like hatred, aversion. So it was completely different.
Pet?
Yeah.
Really?
And then, it used to be that. And then peeve comes from the word peevish, which means spiteful or bad-tempered, something that creates a feeling of resentment or aggravation. So that's where the pet peeve comes from. Dee-nee-nee-nee, fun fact Wednesday.
I think I'm going to step out because Darlene has this show off for her. Darlene has a lot of pet peeves.
So I thought it was only like 4. And then when I started doing research on pet peeves, I honestly realized that I get angry, not angry, but bothered by so many things. Yeah. And the sad thing is that I'm surrounded by them because some of those things my husband does, a lot of those things, and I love you with all my heart, Daddy, but you do. And some things my friend Monica here does, and you know which one it is.
Can I go out of the room? No, I'm just kidding. Yes, I do. I do know what it is.
Yeah, so before we go on to my long ass list of pet peeves, what are your pet peeves?
You know, it's funny because you said we're going to talk about pet peeves, and I was like, "Do I have pet peeves?" And I think I do. But I had to literally sit down because I couldn't think of it off the top of my head. But one of them is when somebody's chewing gum with their mouth open, like that noise.
Are
Yeah,
making
mm,
like that the sounds and the pop. Does it bother you when they pop the balloon, the bubble?
the
balloon?
bubble, the gum. I don't think that so much. It's more like if they're talking and they're chewing and they're, yeah. So and then you hear that noise, that would bother me. It's like close your mouth, you know.
Yeah, and talking about the chewing with the mouth open, the gum, it's even if you're not listening to it, I remember like when A-Rod was dating J-Lo, they would go to these red carpets or events or whatever, and they were both like chewing gum. I'm not listening to them do it, but
you're
it was,
seeing it.
But I'm seeing it, and it just, I think it's so ugly. It looks so bad. Times when we go to events, I always tell like my husband if we're chewing gum, tíralo, throw that thing out because it's, I don't know.
Ugly.
Could that be one of my pet peeves?
Oh my God. I have a coworker that has a huge pet peeve if she sees you chewing gum. Like she cannot see you even putting the stick of gum in your mouth. It's like you have to hide it from her. It's so bad. It is so bad.
That is so crazy.
It is so
the
bad.
different pet peeves. So that's actually one of the top, there's like the 3 top pet peeves. One is chewing with your mouth open. The other one is being late. I really hate that. And the other one is interrupting.
I'm not always
Those are-
late. You just looked at me. I am
No,
not
I
always
wasn't
late.
saying it. I wasn't saying it because I was saying it.
And I was like,
No, because sometimes we do come late to shoot
And
this.
it's
We're
my
rushing.
fault.
Today it was beautiful. We got here early.
Yes.
And that makes
I'm
me
telling you,
happy.
because I'm on a roll. Remember, since like
Yeah.
last episode, I said I started working
Working
out.
out? Are you
So
still working
It
out?
has me, yes, and it has me on a
Good.
schedule. So
I
I hate
like it.
schedules, but it actually makes me feel good to be on a schedule. So yeah.
You see? Good.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, those are some of the pet peeves. Being late, interrupting, and what do you call it? The chewing with the mouth open. I'm not gonna go over my list. Or maybe I'll mention some. So for example, and I did write them down as they were happening because I
Okay.
wanted to do this episode and I would see something happening and I would go on my notes. Now this is pissing me off. Okay, this and I, oh my God. So I share, oh my God, in the bathroom with my husband, where we get ready.
The sink.
The sink.
You
Yeah,
have
okay.
the sink, the lavamano, yeah.
So, and it's a small one. I'm dying to get like a his and hers. Like you do your thing over there. So for some reason, he puts like his face soap on my side after he uses it. And this is me all the time. Bang. I'm changing it. So that's one thing, and it's so stupid. And I did tell him yesterday. I'm like, because I was asking him about his pet peeves. Because this is one thing, when you know what the other person's pet peeve is,
Just do it more. No, I'm just kidding.
then we were talking about that, and then he told me his, and I'm like, oh, so that's actually a really interesting question to ask your spouse or your coworker, somebody that you're with a lot. What is your pet peeve? Because that way you can help the
Avoid.
situation and avoid doing something that will bother them. Why not?
Yeah.
So another one. So I did tell him about the soap, and he's like, okay. So this morning he put the soap on his side.
So he remembered.
Yeah.
Let's see for how long though.
Yeah,
You
and
tell
I was
me.
like, yes.
You tell me. Now that you're saying that, now that I'm thinking about, because I'm like, do I have pet peeves? But you're right. Like, I guess I don't realize it's a pet peeve, but it is. So
Little things that bother you.
Benjamin takes a shower and he throws the towel on the bed. And that drives me crazy because it's a wet towel on the bed. So then I go and I grab it. Or no, you know what? I'm sorry. He's actually been picking up and he puts it, but he just hangs it however. He just throws it over the
door?
Like the door. And when I get into the bathroom, I actually have to put it. That's maybe a little OCD, I want to say. I have to put it like so it's straight. So
And
everything
then
is straight.
the right way.
And the right way. Yeah.
With the tag like in the back. like, so
Always.
you don't
And he
see
always
it.
hangs it opposite. He hangs it where like el diseño or the whatever, the embroidery, let's say if the towel has embroidery, is facing inside the shower and I literally have to grab it. I turn it around and then I hang it again. I make sure everything looks nice and even.
Yes.
So that could be a little OCD but pet peeve because I
know.
can't.
I wonder where like OCD and a pet peeve meet. Like, I wonder how that goes. For example, also like with the toilet paper. Like for me, how do you put it?
How do you
from
hang
the,
it?
From the top. I take
So
from
do
the
I.
top.
So do
Yeah.
I. So it has to be in the forward, right? It has to be facing in the
Yes,
front.
yes,
Me too.
yeah.
My mom comes to my
I mean,
house.
does she do the triangle?
No. Who has time for that?
Well,
Do you
if
do
you're-
that?
No, if you're sitting in the bathroom for a long time
And you're just looking and you start to
and
do
you
a
just do
triangle.
the tri-
No,
I don't do it though.
No, I don't do that. But you know what? When I get home, when my mom's at my house, which is typically like midweek to take care of the kids, I'm working, whatever. I get home and let's say the toilet paper like ran out. She grabs the toilet paper and she puts it opposite with the paper inside. Like
So you take
it's
it from
coming
the
from
bottom.
under, and that
Oh.
drives me crazy. And I go to her, "Why do you do that?" She goes, "Because that's the way you put the toilet paper." I said, "No, it's not. This could be a discussion, like a battle of like how do you do the toilet paper? There has to
Yeah.
be like certain personality traits or something with the person that puts it forward and the person that puts it behind."
Yeah.
Because I've
Yeah,
had this
yeah.
conversation before.
No, it's like why I don't know. For me, like from the top, it looks nicer.
Me too, and it's like easier. Why do you have to grab it from the bottom?
Yeah.
Like grab it from the top,
Yeah.
and it's like right there, and you're I don't know. Yeah.
I'm so curious. I
Yeah.
want people like to tell us how do they.
We're gonna do a
hang
poll
the
on
toilet
this.
paper.
We'll do it on social
Yeah.
media. A poll.
And for example, something that Fabian does, and I think his parents do too, because when they were staying with us, I would see it, and I'm like, it's crazy all the things that we get from our parents. But when there's just a little bit of toilet paper left,
Like,
he'll
the little thing that you can't even clean
No, but no.
anything with. Huh?
no, but you still have like a little bit,
Oh,
like for
okay.
a small portion of pee.
Yeah. Okay.
He puts it away and then he grabs a brand new one. So I would find like the little rolls with a little bit, and I'm like,
Why don't you use that?
why don't you use that?
Yeah, I use all of the paper.
And that's one thing that would bother me. So I would take the brand new roll, I would put it away and put the little one. I'm like, come on. So
Oh my God. Benjamin can say about me his pet peeve. Like, I know one of his pet peeves with me. I don't know what to do with papers. Like, I have a huge problem with like bills, papers that I'm working on.
Go electronic.
Writing. Oh my God. No, but I'm not so organized yet for electronic. Like, I do electronic, but you know, when you get bills and all that stuff, sometimes I want the
just
paper.
throw them out. Throw them out.
But
throw away your
but
bills.
I start to stack it and I don't know what to do. And then I start seeing papers like here on a desk, and then there's some more papers over there on the kitchen. And then he comes and he's like, "What is all this paper everywhere?" He's like, "Can't you find a place for it? Put it inside a drawer." Like, I hate it, but I can't. Like, I need to see it so it reminds me that it's there, and I need to do something with
and
it.
it stays there.
But it starts to pile up because I don't know what to do with it. Like, I get scared if I throw it away, I may need it later.
But don't you have like the organizers, and then you can put like bills
No.
2023?
No, we have a
whatever.
file cabinet.
Looney
No.
doctor.
We have a file
Appointment.
cabinet, but no, I start to stack. Actually, I was good. Like this week, in the beginning of this week, I actually went ahead and I started going through them and I started breaking like propagandas, like crap that you get in the mail that you don't
Yeah,
need.
yeah,
I
yeah.
just started throwing things away to declutter.
What do you do with your kids' paintings and stuff that they bring from school?
my God, that's
Because
another
I
one.
just spoke to a mom the other day from Luna School, and she said, "Oh, because they give us like this booklets, like what they're doing.
Binders.
They do what." At the end of the month, they give us what they did the whole month. And I'm like, what do you do with that? And she's like, I'll throw it out. And I was like, no, like I can't find myself to throw out like
them?
her stuff.
I've done both.
But it's like so many stuff that they do at school and they give it to you, and what do you do?
So you know what? Now that I'm thinking about this, I don't know the name to this company, but I do remember seeing an ad on Instagram, and I was like, oh, that's such a clever idea. Like where
The
you
frames?
take, they basically take the actual pictures. I don't know if you digitize them, and then you have it like digitally, and then you don't have to take all those papers. So you have it, and then was it digitally?
But it's not, I mean, the point of it is having like what they did
No, it's
and what they
frames.
pasted. It's frames, and
I
you
think
put
it's
them
frames.
one behind the other.
I know it was a
that's-
solution because of that, because people feel bad throwing away their kids' things.
Yeah.
And like, for instance, all of Jacob's kindergarten homework that they gave him, like the happy face A+, I was like, Benjamin at one point was like, you have to save one of them so he could look at it and see the A+ 100. And I was like, I can't deal with all these papers. Like, now I can't deal with that. I'm throwing them away. And it all went to the garbage. Like, who's going to remember what he did, like, when he was 5?
See, I wouldn't be able to throw it out.
I'm
a
keep certain
hoarder
things.
in that case, and this is her
4.
first year. But yeah, I can't find myself to do that. Anyway, so going back to pet peeves, or something that when somebody's eating the whole, I'm gonna do it right now.
But that's a gum thing. That's what I said.
But it's not only the gum thing. Anything.
It's the
like
noise.
Anything. Any sound. Even if you don't have food in your mouth and you're like,
Right.
oh, it drives me crazy.
The noises.
So I'm teaching Luna and she's like, Mom, look how I'm eating. And she's with her mouth closed. But even if the person is eating with their mouth closed, if I hear the chewing.
Yeah.
It annoys me so I have to put like the TV or music, and then that's where there's an issue because and I know that Fabian always this bothers him, but yesterday he told me it is a pet peeve, which is he cannot have a TV on, or if I'm because I grew up in a household where we would have the TV on all the time, even if we were not watching anything. It's like it's on.
It's background noise.
It's background noise, and I like that. But with Fabian, he can't have that. Like he can't focus on anything on a conversation. He can't enjoy like a meal in the table if there's background noise. But for me, I need that background noise so I don't hear him or anybody else like chewing, even if they have their mouth closed.
You guys are gonna need like separate rooms, separate living.
So I'll sit down with him or with whoever, and then you'll see me like taking the remote and being like, let's just listen to some music. And he's like, okay, Bo, because that's what my dad does. Yeah, for sure.
Thinking of the thing of the chewing, like I had a visual while you were saying that. That's why like I was like, ugh. I remember going, I'm not gonna say like where, but I was sitting somewhere doing some like stuff like for taxes, right? And the guy and he's literally doing the taxes and he's eating at the same time like Burger King while he's doing the taxes, and he's going and there was like a little bit of like drool like on the corner of his mouth, and that was like, you don't understand, like los pelos de mi cuerpo se pararon así like ugh. But I was like, I have to sit here because we're almost done.
15% discount for the discomfort.
That was a pet peeve. That's a pet peeve. Anyways.
Yeah, and even when you're talking to somebody on the phone and they're eating, my parents, they'll get irritated because I'll call them, and if they're eating, I'm like, what are you eating? And they're like, oh, is this bothering you again? And I'm like, just call me back when you're done eating.
Yeah.
Because even when you're talking to somebody on the phone and they're eating, it bothers me. Like, I don't know. It's...
I've
oh
done
my
that.
God. And we're just getting started, people. Another one, the shoes upside down.
That's
like
OCD. That is OCD.
So how do we distinguish between OCD? No, but it annoys me. Like I can't see the shoes, like they both have to be facing up.
So do I, but that's OCD. That is like a little part of OCD that you need to see. For instance, I put my shoes, and I had this conversation with some girls that do like, oh my God, what's the word? When they come and they organize your space?
TD?
Like
tidy?
no, when they tidy up,
Titty.
No, not titty.
Titty something else.
When they tidy up your space, they're like, they put the shoes like on the rack, like both facing. No, one facing forward, one facing like this. And
why?
I don't know. That drives me crazy. I have to put everything facing like this, like forward, like all of them like next to each other. And other people like to put it different ways. So again, that goes back to the toilet paper thing.
So I guess it becomes a pet peeve when it irritates you, because OCD is like, oh, I need to put this, but pet peeve, I would think it's when it makes you like angry and you get like.
I don't think it's angry. I just think it's like
angry,
you're like, ugh, that bothers me.
Yeah, you know? Like it strings your brain, like stings your brain, like oh, I don't like this. Another one, the shirt tag when it's coming out of somebody's shirt.
Okay, yes. That is like a pet peeve.
And it's happened with the strangers. Like, I'll be at a store or something, or a concert or something, and it's like, excuse me, can I? And I fix it. That's another one. The cell phone use.
Oh, my God, sorry. I
feel like in every single episode, I kind of talk about how that irritates me.
And I just literally right now, my phone was vibrating because I didn't put it on silent. And I'm like, oh my God, who's that? Is it my kids? Like, let me look down for a second. I was like, that's why Darlene's bringing it up. Anyways.
No, it wasn't because of that. But thanks for letting me know, Monica. I'm going to be like in school. Put your phones in the basket in the entrance. But yeah, cell phone use, and like if I'm talking to somebody and they're on their phone, or if we're eating and they're on the phone, I guess that. But I think that one is really common. I was reading about it. We're going to go over a list of other pet peeves. But
okay.
Yeah. One thing that bothers me, like when you're eating out of a bag, chips, when my husband's doing it, it's like put it on a plate. So I don't know if it's the sound or something of just like putting your hand in the bag and taking the chips out.
Constantly, yeah. And then they're munching at the same time. So you hear the munching plus the bag plus whatever.
A couple of pet peeves meet at once.
It's a sound irritation, like, you know.
And then you leave the bag in the kitchen, you leave it there and it's open, and then so they're gonna go bad. So I'm constantly like closing it and putting it away. Condiments when we're eating at the dinner table, and he'll leave like the salt, the pepper, the spicy stuff that he puts.
Oh my
and
God, this is a
everything.
therapy session that you're gonna have to go to.
I'm just venting here. I'm
Fabian,
venting.
I'm sorry.
So it's just, but the back thing, oh my God, I'm always like, put it on a plate, like stop the sound and just putting your hand in there.
And at one point you found
I
this
got
sexy. You're like,
issues.
it's so sexy how he eats out of the bag, out of potato chip. It's been so many years that you're like, put the potato chip bag away. You know, never.
No.
Okay. So it's a pet
I wonder,
peeve.
is there something that Benjamin used to do before that you liked it and now it bothers you?
I'm sure I could think of something, and it won't come to me now because you're putting me on the spot.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I'll think about it. I'm like, oh, I used to love that, and now I realize I don't like it so much. But yeah, those things happen.
I think that's very common. That could be very common. And right now I can't think of anything else off the bat, but it will come out probably before we finish this episode or when we're in the car. So we're going to go over some other pet peeves.
Okay.
Micromanagement. So it says, look, most people don't like it being insinuated that they can't do their work well. Micromanaging inherently does that because it means being on top of every little thing that someone does.
I hate micromanaging. I don't like to be micromanaged. Anybody that knows me from a business perspective, from a friendship perspective, from my family knows I do not like people telling me on a constant what I need to do. I feel like I got it. I get it done. It might not get done your way, Darlene, but it's gonna get it's gonna get done. You know what I mean? Like
at your time.
Or not even. It's not even a time thing. It's gonna get done. Maybe my style, but it's gonna get done. You know, like you don't need to be on me all the time about how I need to do things. You know?
Especially like at work, if they hire you to do something, like you're in design, so if a client is trusting you and is hiring you to do something, and then they want to take over.
Yeah, and that always happens, especially because in the line of, you're working with people that are wanting to do, they want to furnish their place, or you're working with the actual designer that has a vision. If I'm not doing the project or something, so there you have to tweak a little bit. I say it more on like when you're in an office or something, and then people want to micromanage. Thankfully, I don't work in a place that's so micromanaged because I wouldn't be able to deal like somebody looking at every second, like, okay, you're gonna come in at 10, your time frame is 10, you came in at 10:01, you clocked at 10. That sort of micromanaging, I would never be able to deal with it because it's not my person. I feel like if I come in and I do what I need to do and the job gets done and everybody's happy and the end result is what it needs to be, why do you care what happened from here to here as long as it gets done? My take on it, right?
Exactly.
But again,
it's interesting. I would never think that this would be a pet peeve for some people. And I hope that the decorator of my wedding didn't have this because for me, it's really hard to, what do you call it? ¿Cómo se dice?
Delegate?
Delegate. Oh my God.
You want to have every control.
It's very hard. So for the wedding, I kind of struggled with that because even with the coordinator, I feel like, okay, she's not keeping time of the speeches. She's not doing I don't know. But for the decorator, like we sat down with him. This is what he does. I told him the flowers. I told him everything. I went to Marshall's. I remember this is in Puerto Rico. And I bought like a bunch of things that I wanted. And he's like, I already have all this stuff. And I'm like, no, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
So I bought a bunch of stuff, which by the way, it was most of the things that he did put up on the reception. It was things that I bought.
So you felt good. Then you're like, I should have just decorated my own wedding.
But then at the same time, the reason I hired him is for him to bring everything.
Yeah.
But it was hard for me to trust that he was going to have everything exactly how I wanted it. So I hope he
it's
didn't
a style
get bothered,
thing.
but yeah,
it's a style. It's a thing of like not everybody does things like I always say, because I get that as well. Like I sometimes I'm very fast in doing things, and when people are not as fast as I am, I get annoyed. You know what I mean? And when they're too slow and they're taking their sweet time or whatever, that's like a pet peeve of mine. I'm like, my nails, and I'm like, like hurry up, because I'm fast paced. But then there's also the pros of of like seeing the other side, as long as they get it done, I say.
Yeah.
As long as it gets done, it shouldn't matter. The thing is, when it doesn't get done is when it becomes a pet peeve, like in the house, like chores and all that. Sometimes you're like looking at dishes and it's like, wow, why can't they just wash the dish? Like just wash the
Or
one
put it in
freaking
the
dish.
dishwasher.
Or put it in the dish. Why do you just leave it there? Like, why don't you do it? And then I'm like, okay, let me not say it. If it's still here at the end of the day, then, but when it's still there at the end of the day, that's when you're like, shit, this is a pet peeve because you don't want to see it there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, I think everybody has pet peeves. Everybody.
Oh, for sure. Another one that these are things that I read about online, and I'm like, wow, when you're saying no offense before saying something that could be insulting. That came out as another pet peeve. And that's interesting. Like, no offense. And you're like, okay, you are going to offend me.
Really?
So,
You see, I do that sometimes. I'm like, okay, I might not say, like, I'm thinking of how I am. And I think if I start a conversation knowing I might tell you something that you're not gonna love, because it's like could be a constructive criticism or whatever, because I have to speak my mind and I gotta tell you what I'm thinking.
You gotta get it out of your system.
I gotta get out of my system. Usually that's the way that I work. So I usually say like, hey, like, no offense, but I just want to tell you. And I've never taken it like somebody could take it as a pet peeve, but maybe now I could see like.
It's so interesting. I'm like, wow, saying no offense. Well, interesting. Another one, correcting grammar or pronunciation. Interjecting while someone else is speaking to correct their grammar or pronunciation. That could be one. Because it can make the speaker lose their train of thought and their patience will be close behind and going off the track. I do that to Fabian, and he does it to me, like with Spanish words. I do it with him and with English words, but he doesn't care, and I don't care because it's at the end of the day you're correcting something that you want to get better at.
But it's not a pet peeve of yours.
Probably no, it
doesn't bother you,
but it does bother some people to be corrected all the time, their grammar, and I'm very anal with that.
Yeah, I know.
I get anal when because I work doing, transcribing, and I've always loved grammar. It was my favorite subject in school. So when I'm reading something and there's a word that's misspelled, like it drives me crazy because I'm like, wait, they didn't take the time to correct it. And a lot of times you go to these websites and it's huge companies and all that.
And there's stuff misspelled.
And when you see that, one, you let it go. Two, three, it's like, you know what? Come on.
Yeah, I always say give it at least 3. Give the benefit of the doubt first time. Second time, and then third time is like, no, somebody that wrote this wasn't paying attention.
Like, fire them. Another one, leaving dirty dishes in the sink, which we talked about. The other one, oh my God. And I think that many of us can relate to this one. Calm down. When they tell you calm down. Oh, okay. We have Monica, the producer, here saying yes, yes, yes. You want to say something?
No, she's like, no, I don't want to say nothing.
Like if you're in an argument or something, or what are you getting? Are you in your period? Are you PMSing? But when they say calm down, it's not going to make me calm down. It pisses me off that you're telling me to calm down.
I think it's going to be the way that they say it, right? Because I think if somebody, like if you're super alterada and then somebody goes, Darlene, breathe, like calm down a second, But if somebody comes and goes, I guess it's the tone.
It's the way.
It's the way that it's said can irritate. But if somebody says it to you with a genuine kind of like, listen, you're very like excited or you're very annoyed about something and somebody says, Darlene, listen, breathe a minute, calm down, take it easy, Like it's okay. It's not going to be, it's going to, I think it depends the context and it depends the tone, again, of how you say things and, that feel, that vibe of, But yeah, I could see how that could annoy somebody because you're in the middle of like maybe venting. You're venting and they're like, just calm down. That tone of voice, like just calm down. Like it's not a big deal. And that's like, ugh.
And it's ironic because you're telling me to calm down and it's doing the opposite.
Yeah.
And again, as a Latina, a Puerto Rican, for me, sometimes I'm in my mind, in my brain, I am calmed down.
Yeah.
I'm speaking in a normal tone. So when they say calm down, and it's funny because I say when they say, you all know I'm talking about my husband. Like, calm down. I'm like, wait, I'm calm down. What are you talking about?
It's the way, I think it's the way that it's done. Yeah, I could see that. As a pet peeve.
And another one, like let's say you call me and I'm talking to you, but then at the same time I'm talking to somebody else. It's like, yeah, Monica, and you're like, hey, are you talking to the other person or are you talking to me?
That
And
happens to me though a lot, but especially with kids.
yeah, with
I
kids
hate it. You cannot have a conversation when the
Yeah.
kids are around. Like
Yeah.
somebody and you really want to talk to your friend or whatever, and they're in the middle of a story, and you really truly want to listen to them
Yeah.
and pay attention. And the other one's like, "Mommy, I want. Give me 1 second. Let me see what they need. Here, I'll get your. Okay, what were you saying again?
Yeah.
It's so annoying. And before having kids, this was a pet peeve of mine. That was a huge pet peeve of mine that I would be talking, and the people that would have kids, I'm like, I can't even get a sentence in. Like
And
I
this
can't
goes-
finish.
And this goes with the episode from last week.
Yeah.
The things that would bother us when we didn't have kids, and now we're like, oh, now we get it.
Yeah.
And I remember calling my sister, and I couldn't even have a conversation with her because the kids were there. And now the same thing happens to me.
And now you realize it is what it's the nature of the game. It's like
Yeah.
either you deal with them like stopping you for a second in like mid sentence, which sucks because you're like in the middle of a story and you're wanting to say
Yeah.
it and you can't. But
Yeah.
it's yeah.
And it's not about giving them priority of, okay, they want a cookie. It's not that it's more important than the conversation you're having on the phone with another person, but it's just like you want to get them off your back. But then you give
Yeah.
them a cookie, and then it's like, now I want this, and it doesn't stop. And the other day we had like a play date, and it sucks because the girls were having a great time, but then I couldn't even. And I'm just getting to know this mom. She's from school. She's awesome, and when we left, we were like, oh my God, we were here for like 2-3 hours together, and we probably had like a 5-minute conversation because it was
Yeah.
constantly like, what do you need? And even if the kids are having a play date, they still come to you for every freaking thing. I know they're
Especially at that
fighting over
age.
this. Yes.
Yeah,
But
at
yeah,
that
we're
age.
talking about
Toddlers.
3, 4, 5,
Yeah.
6, 7, then other issues which we will be learning about as we grow. So yeah, other small sounds aside from the chewing, the tapping, does that bother you? Or like clicking a pen?
No, those are not pet peeves of mine.
Yeah,
That
me
doesn't
neither.
bother me at all.
Me neither. That's what else? Breathing hard and snoring. That should be like one of the. But what do you do? Like, what do you?
Throw a pillow on the person.
Yeah,
like,
what do you
stop.
do? Like, stop.
Well, they're not letting you sleep. It's kind of like, I could get that as a pet peeve. But again, what do you do?
Yeah.
The person snores, you have to get up and go to the other room if you're sleeping with them.
But for example, in airplanes, it happens, and it's oh my God. The other day, I was at a doctor's office, and there was a man. I felt so bad. He was heavy, and you could tell he couldn't breathe, and he was just sitting there, but he was like,
Probably a smoker.
and yeah.
Everything in between. And yes, after a while, you're just like, please. Like,
Yeah, but
put
some
your
things-
headphones on.
Some things you can do. Let's go over some more before we go. Playing loud games in public, like when you have the kid on the table next to you with the phone like super loud, and it's like, come on, my kid. I left them with my parents, and now I'm here listening to Baby Shark because the parents won't.
So
put that
Noah
phone.
does that. Like, I know that bothers Benjamin a lot. Like, sometimes I'll give him the phone. Like, again, we'll go to dinner or whatever. I give Noah the phone so he could stay calm, so we could have a peaceful dinner. And then Noah loves to put the volume like on 1,000, right?
Oh,
and
so
I'm like,
you're that
lower.
parent.
Yeah, I am that parent. I'm like, but I also tell him, lower the volume. And you see people looking around like, yes, please have your kid lower the volume. And then Benjamin, bájale el volumen. Bájale el volumen. Like, and it's a constant. And then Noah, we lower it, and he puts it back high.
Because he's like, I can hear it's too loud in this restaurant.
Yeah.
Another one, that I check this one out. Leaving someone's text unread.
Leaving on red, meaning like you
Like
didn't read
unread.
it?
Like if you see that
unread.
the person read, it was delivered, and they don't answer, it bothers people. And right now I want to apologize to everybody because I'll read it and I'm like, haha, okay, I'll answer later. I'm terrible.
And then you forget
I'm
about
so
answering.
Bad. I'm so bad at
So
that.
because I answer everybody. I
You do.
typically, I am the person, I answer everybody. But that's, again, personalities, this and that. I get annoyed. Like, let's say I'm on WhatsApp. I deal a lot with WhatsApp. And I'll go on WhatsApp and I'll send a message. And here, you can see if somebody read it, right?
Yeah,
so
with
you
the
blue check marks.
Check marks, yeah.
So you see if they read it, and then they don't. You're asking a question. They saw it. Let's say they were even asking you for something. Like, this could be a client or whatever, and they tell you, "Oh, can you please send me so and so tomorrow?" And you go ahead and you do your job to go send the freaking message on WhatsApp. They look at it. and they don't even answer. And it's like, what did you contact me? Those are pet peeves of mine. What did you contact me for? You just asked me for
You
something.
see, you got another pet peeve.
I have.
Yes,
That is a
we
pet
should
peeve of mine.
Write down all.
But it's like, dude, why? Like, you asked me for something. I'm doing what I need to
Yeah.
do. I'm giving you. I did my job now, and you're freaking reading the message, and you don't even freaking answer. Next time, I'm not freaking gonna send you what you need. You know what I mean? It's like, it annoys me sometimes, and then they don't answer for like 3 days.
I'm guilty.
I need
guilty.
I need
I
people
need to
to
work on
answer.
that.
Like, freaking just answer. No, yes, yeah, okay. I saw it. Get back to you later. Like, just let me know. Hello, you know.
Yeah, I do that with friends, and it's bad. But yeah, and when it's has to do with work, then they should say confirmed, received.
Thank you. We'll talk later. Whatever.
We'll reply.
Perfect. Pass the page.
I should have like an automatic response to everybody that writes to me.
There is people that have that.
I'm gonna get one that says, I'll reply in the next 3 days."
Well, but
That's
something.
so bad. If it's an emergency, keep
something.
texting me or call me. But I'm so bad at that, and it's wrong.
You are bad at that. There was a day we were coming here and she wasn't answering her phone. Actually, we were coming here. We always carpool to get over here.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to go pick up Darlene. And she knows we have to be here at a certain time. She's pressuring me like, hello, we have to be here on time because her pet peeve is being late.
I have to be.
And I'm here
on
going
time.
and I'm calling her because my car is not starting and it wasn't starting and it wasn't starting. And I had to go pick her up and she's not answering the phone. That was a pet peeve at that moment. Here's confessionals. Confessionals of Darlene and Monica. Confessional.
And
I'm
it
like,
was because
Darlene.
the ringer was off, and it was. I go home and I just put the phone like wherever,
Away.
and that's it. And I
Sin
don't know, like
embargo,
I
yo-
can have it on me all the time because also in my case, I don't want Luna to always see me like with the phone. I know. I mean, yeah, whatever.
mean,
Darlene.
it is what it is. But I was like, Darlene's not
But
freaking
yeah,
answering
but it
her
was
phone.
that day the ringer was off, so I'm sorry. And I remember being like, "Oh, Monica hasn't called," and then she's like, "My car won't start," and then you called Fabian,
And then Fabian didn't answer the phone. I was like, shit, we gotta be there soon. And she's not. And then finally you're like, oh my God, I'm so all calm. And I was already agitated. Not because of you, the car wasn't starting.
Yeah.
You weren't answering. And I don't know what else happened that day, but it was like a row
No,
of things.
you were in a bad mood that day, and I was so chill. That's why, probably
Super.
because the phone was off. I was like, "Oh, I'm in my world."
You balanced me out while we came over here.
We should put like a camera. We
In
should
the
do one from
car.
like on the. Yeah, because it's interesting.
Like the
This
car
morning it was me.
confessionals.
I was kind of like, and then she's like all happy and jolly, and I'm like, okay, let's. So we balance each other out. This
Yes.
is so cute.
Yes.
One more. It's one-upping people's stories. I'm gonna read this. Telling a great story to a group of friends can be really satisfying until that one guy jumps in with his story about a similar thing, but better. Funnily enough, people do the same when a friend shares a story of misfortune, and it's equally annoying in that situation. Oh, I meet people like this all the time, and Daddy, again, I love you, but you do this.
I think I do that though. But not in a
I think
horrible
we
way.
all do.
I think
We
we
all
all
do.
do. Like, if you're telling me a story and then I can relate to it, like, and I always have something to say. I think we've talked about this. I am always like, oh, but that happened to me. But like this, it's not. I don't think I do it to one up. I just think it's like it reminds me of something, and I just like
Yeah.
I say it. But I do for a fact know, because I've seen them. And they're narcissistic people that are always have to be about them. And that's where the difference comes in. You're saying a story and then they come like, oh, I'm going to go for my birthday to Italy, let's just say. And my husband bought me tickets and we're going to Italy for 2 weeks. And then the other person comes, well, you know where I've been? I've been to that. That's a one up. And that
Yeah.
irks. And I've seen people like that. It's like a competition of like, oh, look at me. But I did better than you.
Yeah.
I went last year and I spent 5 months in Europe and you're only going 2. Oh, that it irks, and that to me is a pet peeve.
Yeah, that's,
but relating,
You
like,
see, you get another pet peeve. We should have like a sound that goes like beep beep.
yeah,
Beep beep. There's one for Monica, one for
pee
Darlene.
pet peeve.
But yeah, and for example, putting my dad as an example, my dad is a storyteller and he has so many things in his mind. By the way, his book is out. It's called Mockingbird. I'm going to be putting links all the time because I got to promote it.
Woohoo.
So he's a great storyteller. So he has so many things in his mind that you'll mention something and he'll want to tell a story about that.
Yeah.
But it's not as much that he tells stories about, oh, I did that. No, he likes to be like, oh, My friend, you know what they told me the other day, and he kind of likes to also like relate and put everything together.
Where somebody could get annoyed, like, let me finish my story and like let me just talk about what I wanted to talk about and just listen to me and don't talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
But some people, they do it. They're rude because it's, because I bought this shirt. Oh, I bought that shirt and I bought the pants too.
Yeah,
and then the whole story turns into
that person,
his shirts,
and then you're like, pants. Okay, ciao, peace out.
All right, I had another one, and I think I forgot. Did I write it down? Because I wanted to mention it. Never mind. I'll probably remember later. And then on the road, they're talking about like the slow drivers, turning without signaling. Those are things that people can really be bothered about. With everything that's happening now, to be honest, on the road, I'm more chill. I don't honk. I don't nothing because you never know
nothing.
What's going on if the person has whatever.
A bad day or,
Yeah. So how to handle it? We're going to wrap with this. How do we handle when we're going through that situation where something is really pissing us off?
Is it really? I don't consider pet peeves to piss me off. I consider it more like it just irks me. And what do I do?
True.
I mean, it irks me. They just irk you. What do? At the point that I'm in right now, like stupid stuff like that, like the towel situation, I just turn it around.
Yeah, exactly. It's not pissing off.
Yeah, I just do it. Somebody's chewing gum with their mouth open, and maybe like it's irking me because they're with that sounds. What am I say? Stop chewing with your mouth open. Like I'm not.
I do that.
I mean,
I'm like.
I mean, if it's somebody that I know, yes. But what if you're talking to somebody that it's a business transaction, and that person just happens to be chewing, and what are you gonna do? Stop. I mean, you're gonna blow the deal, correct? So you might as well just stay quiet and let that. Swallow that pet peeve down and, just let it go and then walk away and just breathe. It's like a 90-second rule. Breathe it out.
This just came to my head. You were saying one time that you were in the restroom with a friend and your sister.
Oh, my God. What?
It's a quote.
Oh, my God. No, this was years ago, though. Are you talking about the girl that I couldn't stop laughing? Oh, my God. No, this is gross, though.
This is gross. So gross alert. I don't know why I just thought about that.
Because that's a pet peeve.
It's not a pet peeve, but what do you say to that person?
Okay, so wait. They don't know the story. So I'm going to say the story. This was years ago. Obviously, I'm not saying any names.
I think about this all the time.
This was a holiday party. This was like, I'm talking about like 15, 20 years ago. And we're at a holiday party and we're going all into the bathroom, women's bathroom. Everybody's washing their hands. And the girl's actually like, she's in the stall talking to us while we're washing our hands. And she was like
farting.
She was but so loud.
So she was
but it was so loud. And she didn't care.
She put sound effects. I'm trying to do it. I can't.
And she didn't care. She didn't care. And I was washing my hands. And I was like, dude.
You're like, what do you do? Excuse me, because you're not farting in the bathroom.
No, but the first time I was like, okay, well, maybe it was like her shoe or something that made a noise. But it was like, prakata, prakata. And I couldn't. I was like, I looked at my friend. Actually, it was my sister-in-law at the time. She's my sister-in-law still. And I looked at her, and we both looked at each other. I was like, did we just hear what we heard?
So what?
And the girl was actually still talking throughout the whole thing.
So she's like, hey, how about the Yankees? They've been playing good.
Oh, my God. Anyways, yes. Anyway, we should wrap it up there because I'll keep going with that story.
So, I mean, how to handle it, address it. Like if it's somebody that you trust and all that, and they're not going to get mad at you. But address it with somebody, again, like we were saying earlier, that you see them all the time or you live with them. Because
you could address it with them.
Yeah. Like, for example, and I asked Fabian, like, what bothers you that I do? And he said, like, putting hangers in the doorknobs because then the door doesn't close. And then just walk away, take a breath, get out of the situation. If it's a sound, then, like, put some music and shift your attention to something fun or address it with humor. Like, yeah. So, yeah.
And then just breathe it out. When you have no control over the situation, breathe it out 90 seconds, let it go, and that's it. It'll pass.
So, it'll pass like gas.
It will pass. Oh, my God.
Okay,
boy.
we gotta go.
Yeah.
We will see you on next week's episode. Please share, subscribe, like. I feel like influencer.
Yes.
Like, subscribe, share, everything. It helps. Love you
Yes.
guys. And yeah, connect with us. Bye.
Bye.
Love you.